Back again, glad you guys are here. Had a request by a couple guys just to explain how to mount the Bow Spider pin on your bow, and there's a couple options. We highly recommend you go behind the stabilizer. That's the easiest place to mount it. It also puts your bow in the proper orientation for spot and stock on your hip. You can very easily take the bracket off of the pin and mount it higher up the bow, and I'll show you how all that's done. Your pins are going to come like this in your package. It comprises of an M6 bolt with a T30 Torx head, an angle bracket with a slot, and the post. There also is in your little hardware kit a longer M6 bolt that you can use to through bolt through the riser. So if you don't have a stabilizer, but your bow has a stabilizer mounting position, it's a 5x16 by 24 pitch bolt. You can get that in any local hardware store. Just go ahead and put the pin on your bow, take this bolt, and go ahead and insert that. You're going to want your Allen wrench, and then you're going to run that all the way in tight. If you have a stabilizer, again it's that same thread, 5/16 by 24. You can just take your stabilizer off your bow, go ahead and put your stabilizer right back on your bow. You're going to want to run the bracket tight against the bow and then tighten the stabilizer down pretty tight. If it's loose and that pin is allowed to move freely, it will then continue to gravity lock and you won't be able to retrieve your bow. So that's where we highly recommend you run your post for your Bow Spider, but there is a couple other options and we'll show you that real quick. Take this bracket off, then you just have these two pieces, and you can come through either an upper quiver or a lower quiver hole. Go ahead and run that tight. Tighten that up, and now your pin is mounted, hard mounted on the upper third of your bow. That way you can hang your bow vertically. Tree stand hunting, a couple customers like to run it vertically on their back. It's a little bit harder on your hip. You have to do a two-handed retrieve instead of a one-handed retrieve with it here. Here's the Bowtech Revolt. Similar operation. Your Bow Spider pin is going to come with the bracket pre-installed. Go ahead and put it over the stabilizer, slide it tight against the bow, put your stabilizer on. Now if you choose to, you can take that same thing apart like we did on the last bow, and you can through bolt it right through the lower and upper quiver holes. So your kit comes with the pin and the M6 bolt. Just go ahead and put it right through your lower quiver hole. And now it's firmly mounted. That is going to move it a little lower on the bow, and that's going to make it a little harder to retrieve and put away, but it will still function just fine. So this is the Bowtech Carbon Rose that my wife shoots. It's a carbon frame bow, and so you don't have the lower and upper quiver mounting holes that you would on most of your aluminum bows. So you need to go right here behind the stabilizer. In this case, she's shooting without a stabilizer, so we replaced that stabilizer with a bolt.